To play a little Zigaboo style.
Yeah, there was a lot of second line. Yeah, it's a big band. The Damn Well Please Orchestra.
Nice.
Horn section and organ.
Man. Love.
I will never. I'll never underestimate the ability of Harvell's to pack way more musicians in there than they should be able to legally.
Yeah, it was like that. The horn section was on the floor.
As they are, yep. You ever seen the Blow and Smoke band play there? No. They have like 5 horns, 3 singers, a percussionist. I mean, it's way too many. They do it. They always fit them in.
Yeah.
There are a lot of reports of a lot of fights going on in bars. You know, people getting back and forgetting what it's like to be publicly intoxicated, and a lot of car accidents because not as much Uber, and so people are driving drunk. My gig on Saturday, man, there were accidents all the way there, all the way back.
Really?
So be careful on the streets out there, gentlemen.
Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Hold on.
Good to see you back, Nat.
Yeah, welcome back, Nat.
Thank you.
Any cupcakes today?
Yeah, actually.
Should we even ask?
I just want to know which flavor.
Well, I ran out of the cream, so now it's chocolate.
Oh man! All right, cool. We're streaming too, so welcome everyone streaming. Late start today. Sorry, guys. But we're here. We're here. We showed up. That's important. I wanted to continue on our. Let me pull. Man, see, I haven't even pulled up sheet music yet. Let's see. CNC. I wanted to just continue on our permutations and then go back to the groove 16th note kick drum permutations. So let me no, that's not it. Oh, okay. I guess I could continue on that. Okay. Give me a second while I just find my things here.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not it. Always.
Oh, the other thing. Hey, Nat. Remember way back at the beginning, you gave me some recommendations on aquarium heads. Those are so awesome. I'm putting them on finally because I've had to keep all my practice gear on. Oh, they sound so good. I've got the snare complete and just the batter head on the bass drum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, appreciate the recommendations.
No problem.
Now, you ever put what's the kick drum? Super. Have you ever put a Super Kick 1 on a floor tom?
Yeah.
With the muffling, does it sound good?
Depends on how you tune it and what you're trying to get out of it.
What if you put a Super Kick 2 on a floor tom? You go with a Super Kick 1 or 2?
If you want a deeper sound,
yeah.
Super.
So I don't want it to sound. I want it to sound like a what's his name? Floor tom.
Not quite like a bass drum.
Not quite like a bass drum, but a really, really deep bassy, like drastically different than on a 16 note, 16-inch. Maybe a sip of coffee.
I want to hear. Yeah, I want to hear who you were going to describe as the ideal floor tom sound of a drummer you wanted.
I was thinking about Benny Greb's 16.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah, but he's not using bass drum head.
I know, but he's also not using Aquarian, right? And so
no,
I think he does Remo, but he also does. He says that he tunes it a very specific way for for the mics. So it won't. Yeah, it doesn't sound good. He says to his own ear there, but once it's mic'd up, that's what gives it that deep, really good sound.
this tour that I got coming up.
You got to look at what he plays sonar, so you got to look at the shell thickness and what wood he's using on that kit. That also makes a difference.
Yeah, I think it's beech.
Wow. Yeah, see, beech is a beast.
I have I think a Force 10 on my floor at my 16, and then I have felt on it too to make it just.
Well, now the other thing you can do, if you got a Force 10 on the top, you can put a Force 10 on the bottom. That also changes.
Oh, I didn't think about that. What if you ran a super kick too and a Force 10 on the bottom? Oh.
Yeah, it would thicken up the floor tom sound.
I'm running 2 floor toms for this tour coming up, 12, 14, 16, and I want the 16 to be like almost a bass drum.
Okay, so you're gonna have 2 floor toms?
Yeah.
Are they both 16s?
One's a 14, one's a 16.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah.
And then the 14 I always have tuned pretty low too, but it'll be like
change the bottom head on the 16.
That's a good
go with a thicker head on the bottom.
So okay, I might not go that crazy. I might try sorry guys, we're just talking heads over here. But I might go perform like a performance 2 on the bottom, and then a Force 10 on the top. And if it needs to be deepened even more, then I'll put a felt on it. Or maybe I could just have them do a felt on the Force 10.
Force 10, yeah. Or just go with just go with a Super Kick 10.
Super Kick 10, it's the same thing?
Yeah, the Super Kick 10 has the felt on it because it's designed for the bass drum.
Okay, so then I might. Yeah.
Yeah, see, there's a lot of thought.
Oh man.
My wife, I'm not going to spend any more money, and you guys are making me buy. I have to buy Aquarian heads now. I have to.
Oh man! Hey, if you want any info on Aquarian heads, like talk to Nat, man.
So I'm going to try it. So I have 14, 16, 18, and then what do I need? I have a Chad Smith snare. So in the tell me what I should get, and I'll get it.
It depends on what you want, though. Like that's the thing.
Like
a Bonham sounding thing. I would go with
kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would go with some Aquarian's version of
Chili's kind of sound too. Like I like Chili's sound.
Oh. In my opinion, I would say response to. What do you think, Nat?
Rocky kind of like I like my toms to kind of sing a bit and stuff.
Oh yeah, then you don't want power dot. You want like a. Is Nat frozen?
No, I'm
my opinion, I would say either response 2s or performance 2s. Those are my favorites, but I know those are really versatile. But Nat, what are you thinking?
I'm almost thinking Force 10 clear. If he for his rack tom, if he wants open resonant sound.
Force 10, yeah. I would definitely put Force 10s on the floors.
And then depending on what he wants on his floor tom, how he wants the sound, you can go with Force 10, or you can go with
Corey was
Force 2.
I like this sucker to be almost like a bass drum kind of deal.
Yeah, then maybe a triple threat on the floor tom.
Yeah.
The lower one.
That could work.
I like to mix up my head, so I don't just go with one thing. I go with like a different one on the rack, different ones on the floors, because I want my floors to be a little bit deeper. And so I would maybe go. I
have a reflector. I have reflectors on this kit, and
reflectors are nice, man.
I've been digging the way it sounds because the 16, 14 are just deep and round, just deep and dark, and just
reflectors are the Eric Moore, the ones that he has quote unquote helped develop, which I find hard to believe, but anyways, but they're very versatile. You can tune them high, you can tune them low.
Yeah, I can clear that up. That was already done before he.
Yeah, they just put his name on him.
Well, no, his name is not on him.
But he just
molded him.
Yeah.
That's basically all he did. He liked him, promoted him, put him on his kid. He liked him, he promoted him, and because of his following, they sold.
That's it. Yeah. Anyways, whenever I'm like, hey, I need to get some new heads, I need to try some out, I'm like, Nat, can you meet me at Aquarian? And he's like, I'll be right there. we've spent hours going through like snare heads and like stuff. It's pretty cool, man.
Half the battle is knowing what sounds you want. If you know what sounds you want, I can direct you to the head.
Nat's even come here to the studio and said, well, you have your snare tuned wrong, and then put some like muffling on it and tuned it, and he's like, there you go.
Well, when you're talking drum heads, you got to get the drumhead whisperer, which is Nat.
Yeah. For Aquarian, man, Nat's the dude.
Peter Remo, I've used Remo and Evans before I found Aquarian.
I was an Evans diehard before I used Aquarian.
Oh man, I played Evans Reds, Blues, the clear heads.
Yeah.
When they first came out, they were great. Especially the Reds and Blues, if you wanted to be able to play hard but not be loud. That's what I used in small cocktail gigs, and it was great.
Yeah, I think they made a resurgence. I think they got him back up, the Reds and the Blues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then Remo started doing it too. They've got the colored heads, reds, blues, greens, yellows.
Man, I would just use a Evans G2 on everything, even my snares. I wouldn't change anything. And it was like, I just knew that head so much that I could just, use it. I could use it for anything. Use it on a jazz gig, use it on a rock gig, and I could just keep it simple.
Yep.
Closest thing to that would be the response twos for me with Aquarian. That's my like most versatile go-to drum head.
That helps, Corey, because that's what the Evans. That's what I do.
Okay. Yeah, response 2 will be a little bit warmer. It's a little bit thicker. It'll take you probably a few days to get used to, but it's a great, and it'll last way like twice as long as the G2.
You guys ever heard of putting cotton balls in your floor toms? I heard that this week, and I was like, what?
I've tried it. It didn't make a difference for my drum head or for my floor tom. I tried it in my 16. All right, guys. Sorry for the delay. We can get started with our usual. So this is it's the same thing that we were doing. It's just the basic permutations though. So it's different from the Zildjian one, but there is a check pattern in between. So this we have diddles. What we've been doing is playing a kick on the diddles, and then we've been playing these 16th notes in unison. So you guys can do it however you want if you don't want to do it in unison today. So like a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E but that's gonna get your arms burning. And then when you get to the diddle, instead of playing a diddle, we're playing the kick on that note. So obviously on the beat, on E, on and, on with a check pattern in between. So we're gonna be playing some unisons, 16 notes. We're gonna try not to flam. We're gonna try to breathe, and we're gonna try to do that for 2 minutes. Everybody with me? All right, let's get it. Let me get this situated. Yeah.
Literally just ordered the drum mantra book.
Oh, cool.
For this.
That's good, man. Yeah, I was gonna go over that today.
I was gonna get it until I realized I already had it.
Oh, really?
Well, with the Benny Greb book, it's the same. It's basically the same. The only difference I found is he incorporates the breathing and the meditating part.
The only thing I do like about the drum mantra is the play along music that you get with
the play along thing is cool.
Yeah. All right, guys. So here we go. Everybody, can we do that at 80 in unison? That's gonna be whew. We're gonna be burning up. All right, here we go. Let me get my timer and let's get it. Let's see, where is it? Timer, there it is. All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Back at the top. About halfway. Gotta pay attention. That's about it. That's good. Oh. All right. Oh, come on. There we go. Ooh, there it is. I love that. I love that 16th notes in unison, man. That's really cool. Oh, what about
That's cool, like doing the bass drum there, but
yeah,
it's cooler if you get the diddle.
I was thinking that just now. Like, what if you?
The last times I did the diddle with the bass drum, I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Like still in unison, like.
Yeah, I was doing you're doing your hands in unison, right? And then I went.
I like that. I just thought about that too. Let's try that. Let's go I'm only going to go 5 BPM faster. Let's go 10. 90. All right. Oh, man. Ugh. Okay. Let's try it in unison with the diddles. Are you ready? Here we go. Oh, man, I don't know about that. Here we go. A 1, a 2, ready, go. Nope. That is really fast. There's no way. Oh my gosh. Not even halfway. Halfway. It's pathetic, man. Come on. There we go. This is last one. God, dude. That was really, really pathetic for me. Only 10 BPM different, and I'm just like falling apart over here.
You gotta relax.
Flam City. My left hand is just not relaxing at that tempo.
Yeah, you have to relax. Use the rebound.
Man, how did everybody else? Was everybody else good at that tempo?
More of a buzz for me. That was super fast. I would have suggested slow down and try to do
that. Was really, really, really bad for me. You guys could hear it.
To get the diddles.
I want to try. Yeah, I don't know why I thought we could do the diddles at that tempo. Let's try.
Wait. Were you doing the diddles with your hands or with your feet? With your foot?
Nothing was really happening on my end. I was trying to get my feet too.
I did
diddles with my hands.
Wait, you're trying to do the diddles with your feet?
I did the diddles with my right foot on the bass drum.
Oh, I get it.
And you just stay linear with the like.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
Yeah, kick drum on the diddles only.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's do that.
So you're playing hands in unison, going with both hands, right? And then when you get to the diddles, the kick drum plays the diddles, your hands play the other notes.
I like that. Yeah, I was trying to play the diddles with my hands.
Oh, you're gonna kill yourself.
All right, let's go back.
You're playing everything unison, and you're trying to do the diddles unison.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna kill yourself. That's almost human. That's almost impossible.
At 90.
Yeah, you're trying to kill yourself at that point.
There's no way. All right, so let's try it. I'm gonna go to 75, and let's do this one more time. 2 minutes. Now this is a manageable tempo, and then let's do the diddles with our kick. That's a great idea.
Are we doing like you said? Is it linear, and we're skipping the hands on the kick drum part, or is it?
It would not. Okay. Oh, you're skipping the hands on the kick drum part.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it linear. I'm doing it like with.
You're keeping your hands going.
Yeah.
Through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Either or.
I guess either or. Yeah, that works.
Okay. So wait. 1. Yeah, 2. Yeah.
I'll try both ways.
2. Yeah, that works too. You can't do like one time through non-linear, one time through linear. That's cool. I like that.
That's fast for one day already. My brain is.
I know it like we kind of just came in hot, but like. And then what's and 1 and 3 and 3. So yeah, you can just do it linear. Everybody know what that means, like where you just don't play your hands on the kick drum part. But I'm gonna try it with. Maybe I'll try one with, one without. All right, we're back to 75. Here we go. Let me do a 2 minute thing. Here we go. Sorry. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, hold on. I gotta mute everyone, and then let's
Sorry, that was me. My bad.
It's all good. Let's try it a little bit slower too. Let's go like 70, so everybody gets it. 2, ready. Oh gosh. Pause. Cancel. Start. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Oh, I like that. That is nice, man. Linear is cool. I love that. Ah, missed that one. Halfway there. Last one. That's really cool. Okay. That changes this whole thing. That's really dope, man. doing it linear too is really it's really cool. I like that, man. I wouldn't have thought about that.
Hey, Corey, down at the other end, something more basic that I kind of stumbled across for your more beginner students been helping me. I turned diddle into dribble because you know how you're talking about, your hands should be like dribbling a basketball. Mm-hmm. And that way, by repeating the word dribble every, like paradiddle, paradribble, dribble, it's this weird, it reminds me to keep my hands going.
That's cool.
So I'm both, doing a diddle and, doing that mental check of, hey, are you slamming it down or are you, dribbling the ball, so to speak. So anyway.
That's cool. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, it's helping.
If this one, just so you know, I don't know if you know, but we're putting we're playing the kick as our diddle on this.
Yeah, totally.
If you can't do the diddle on the kick though, you can just play a single note, like use it like an accent. So kind of like that, and then that's what we were doing. Diddles is really cool. Can we try this one more time a little bit faster, like at 80 or 85? I want to see if I can do it at 85. Let's try it at 85. One more time, guys. So we're having fun with this one. All right, here we go.
The one on the end, surprisingly, is the hardest one for me.
Yeah. So let me tell you what I'm thinking here. Sorry to pause real quick, but when I'm doing these, I'm looking at how many notes are before the kick drum thing. So like right here, I'm thinking one, and then I have to play my kick. One, and then I just fill in the rest. One, dun 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 dun. Okay, and then when I get to here, I think two notes. 1 2 1 2 1 2, and then right here, I think three notes. So 1 2 3 1 2 3.
This totally fixed that for me.
Yeah, so that helps me to be able to come into this, like on the check pattern I'm looking, and I'm kind of wrapping my mind around, oh, okay, there's one, and then I have to play my kick, and then there's two, and I have to play my kick, and then there's three.
To take a bit from the mantra book, why not, instead of counting it like that, sing it?
Yeah. Da 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 da.
Sing it in your head. You know where it goes. Sing it. Your thought process will be faster versus counting.
Here we go. 1 2, ready, go. Halfway. Last one. Oh man, that was good. Hey, Jason, this will help you a lot with punk drumming, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, this is an awesome sheet. I'll be spending a lot of time on this.
That's cool.
That's about as fast as those bass drum diddles get for me.
It's pretty there, yeah. That's really cool though. I like that. That's a fun one. That's a really fun one. Very nice, everyone. Very nice. Yeah, I struggle with those fast diddles, so this is like a good.
Let's go faster.
If you want.
I'm messing. I mean, I could, but
90 at 90, I was falling apart. That was 85 though. That wasn't that bad. Taking it like that breather where you're playing the diddle.
You just haven't had enough coffee yet. You're fine.
Yeah, that's what it is. Adam, how are you on this one?
I always find that
unmute him.
Oh, how am I on it? Yeah, I like all the permutations you're doing. The tempos are cool. I love the unison stuff. I love the moving accents. That stuff, that's great.
Yeah, man. What were you saying, Sam?
I would say I always find it so interesting that like finding that line, that 1 BPM line where you can do it at this one and then you move it one increment up and you no longer can do it. Like finding that line is always so interesting to me, how there's like this physical break where you have no problem doing it and then all of a sudden it's gone.
I always think about that, like that in terms of what you do, Adam, like finding that line and then finding out why you can do it at this tempo, but not that. Like if I have more coffee, can I do it? If I like meditate or get in a mental state where I'm like more confident, can I do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love this chemical principle of titration where you want to find the point at where the chemical reaction happens between two elements. And so you just keep dropping one element into the next until the reaction happens. And I like that idea for drumming, like just keep incrementally adding until you get to that point where either you freeze or it feels comfortable or changing the tempo.
I felt myself very tense on that one. And I was thinking of you, Adam. I just relax. And like kind of what Nat was saying, just sing it helps you to relax more. And then you can do it. But when I was tense, it's like, I can't keep up, relax. And then you're giving her.
Yeah, when we did the 90 one, I was really tense in my left arm, especially. It was like just after a while, it was just, I was fighting not playing 16 notes or like, I was turning into flams and then just turning into single strokes. My left was just so much slower than my right. So like at that tempo, it was like, ended up going like that, you know? All right, I got one more here. This is our continuation of our groove now with our the same kick drum permutation. So let me get it.
I got to jump for work, everybody, but
right,
thanks
Jay.
for getting Monday started off well. Versus what I'm about to go into. So thanks for the positive mindset. We'll see everybody.
Cool. Have a good day, man.
See you, Jason.
All right. So we've kind of done a lot of these. So obviously eighth notes, quarter notes. We did 16th notes. Now we have 2 16th notes at eighth note, but the same kick drum permutation. So I don't know where we should start. Maybe we should just do one of these. Let's just do the eighth notes to get us started, and then we'll move on to the 2 16th note eighth note thing. Cheesy bread. All right, that's at 100. So And we do these 4 times each. So we'll just run these 4 times each, and then we'll stop. All right. We tried doing them like drum mantra style. Maybe we could try the other one like that. But anyways, let's just try this one 4 times each, and then we'll move on. 4 times each. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 4. Moving on. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Moving on. Again, let's try it again. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Let's go one more time. 2, 3, 4. Moving on. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. And that's it. That's cool. A little fast. It's a little bit fast. I'm gonna go to 80 for the next one. All right, so this sheet we do like we're just changing our hands, but the kick drum permutation stays the same. So we had the quarter notes, and then we had the 16th notes. All right, so now we did that all last time. So now we have oh man, can I do this? Okay. All right, let's try it. This time, let's do the drum mantra. So let's do 8, 4, 2, 2. Or no, 8, 4, 2, 1, 1. Okay. 8 times each measure, 4 times each measure, 2 times each measure, 1 time each measure, 1 time each measure, and then we're done. Let me see if I can keep track of that. You might hear me flub it up a little bit. All right. I'm going to put some 8th notes on here. 1, 2, ready, go. Oh my gosh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Moving on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Moving on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going 4, 2, 3, 4. Moving on. Oh my gosh. There we go. 3. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now we're going 2, 2. Moving on. 2, 2. 2. Now 1. Oops, wrong one, sorry. 1 again. Yeah. And this is it. Hard to talk through that and play it at the same time. How'd everybody do on that one? Oh, so? Once we sunk in, like once we did the 8s, it kind of started sinking in for me to feel like each one has its own feel, you know?
I mean, it was kind of like what Nat was saying earlier. Like once you hear what the groove sounds like for each bar in your head, it's a lot easier to like once you can sing it, like once you can make a groove out of it in your head, it's a lot easier to execute, especially when you're doing it over and over.
Next on Wednesday, I want to try the same thing, but I want to try it to that same song. I got some longer versions of that song that we did it to last week, and it changes the feel to it, but man, it makes it really fun. So we'll try that next time. And then yeah, that's cool stuff, man. I like these permutations, especially in grooves. And when you play it with the music, it really makes it's like you wouldn't think to play the kick drum on the but then when you play it with music, it like makes it really funky and cool, man. It's really cool. So and I also really love doing that style, like 8-4-2, 8-4-2-2, 8-4-2-1-1. That's really nice, man. Does Benny Greb do that same format? 8 times, 4 times, 2 times, 1, 1?
No, he doesn't do it like that.
That's really like drum mantra, and like I'm like I want to use that, but I don't want to just blatantly plagiarize, like blatantly steal from him. But like it's such a great concept.
Yeah, why not? That's why it's out there.
Everybody. I mean, I always think about like, man, we all use like, you know, the syncopation book, or everybody uses that for teaching. So it's if it's another method, you know, I try to give credit where credit's due, and you know, it's a great concept, man. Really keeps you focused. That's one of the biggest problems with kids today, man, is I sound old, but focusing, because they're so used to Instagram or, you know, TikTok or
YouTube
or whatever. It's like getting to focus on paying attention to where you're at on the page is like a real struggle with my students, you know.
I've been grooving for 20 seconds. I'm bored.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, yeah, play it like, you know, 10 times in a row. And a lot of students are just like, nah, I'm not going to do it. Can't do it. So, that's why I like that 8 times. You gotta be committed to 8 times, 4 times. You have to pay attention. I always say it's focusing on focusing.
I liked, what would Jason say last time? It's easy to do something easy, but it's hard to do something easy great, or something like that. Yeah, that was a really good one.
Man, another great group today. Solid. We've all been doing this for close to a year, so we should all be like pretty good now. Well, at least we're good at like 16th notes in unison. So. Dude, we got to start talking about what we're doing when I'm gone for like a month. I know like we still got a month to plan, but I'm totally like way happy to keep this going, but it's going to be like pretty much impossible to do this from a tour bus. So one of you guys, if any of you guys want to take over, I can get you the login, you know, while the months that I'm gone, or I can jump on when I can on days off and stuff. But Adam, like, I'm more than happy if you want to take the reins, or any of you guys, if you guys want to share duties or whatever, it would be really useful for me, man. It'd be really helpful.
You gotta stipulate a hotspot in the writer next time.
I know, man. That's gonna be yeah. I just can't. I just can't do it.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, you know how it is, man. It's just too hard. Like if you're focusing on a gig or focusing on something like that, it's like. Is
it an East Coast tour or?
We end on the East Coast.
All right.
We end in Chicago though, so not all the way on the East Coast.
All right. If you do end up being able to do it, it's gonna be interesting going through the time zones.
Yeah.
For you.
It's gonna be hard to organize, you know. Like it's yeah. So. But I mean, I feel like, you know, all of you guys know the drill, and you know you know what this is about, and you guys are all more than capable of doing it. You know, all you all are respected in this, you know, in Chops and Coffee, and everybody's going to be listening if you are talking, you know, and that's important. So that's where the respect comes in, where everybody knows everybody in here is dope and play and deserve to be leading a group like this. So I know everybody has their own feelings about public speaking, or, you know, it's a lot of weight to put on your shoulders, but I would be okay with any of you guys just being like, hey man, I'm going to take it this week, I'm going to take it that week, or whatever. And I'm no pressure, of course, but if you guys want, that would be really cool to keep Coffee alive.
Are you going to be joining once in a while, or like just as a?
What was that? Sorry.
Are you still going to be joining once in a while?
Yeah, I'm going to try to join as much as I can, and but it's just like, I just don't know. You know, when you're on the road, it's like you just don't know I don't know if I'll be in a hotel room and be able to set up, you know, a practice pad, or I don't know if I'll be on the bus, like, and trying to be quiet in the back lounge while everybody's trying to sleep, and, you know, it's a lot of factors, you know.
What's the date you're gone?
At the end, so I start rehearsals in middle of August, and then at the end of August I start my tour, and it's all the way through September.
Okay, man, I'm down for whatever. Everyone's contributed such cool stuff. It'd be great to rotate or whatever. Yeah.
I guess, I mean, I'm just kind of sprinkling in some just to get everybody's mind wrapped around it. But you know,
maybe the best way to keep it going would be people just volunteer that they would be down to doing it, and then maybe create like however long you're going to be gone, how many sessions that would be, and then create like a calendar. Like, you know,
and we don't have to do it 3 days a week if you guys don't want. I mean, I like that when I'm home, because, like, you know, it forces me to, it keeps me accountable. But you know, and I think all of us too have our own warm-ups and our own session stuff that we do for practice and warm-up and stuff that all of us can benefit from. So that's literally all I'm doing, is just like, hey man, this is something that I pulled up, and then everybody contributes and makes it even cooler, you know, and stuff that I wouldn't even think of. So
I'm happy to do as many days as you'd need me, or whatever, and whatever. We'll cover it, I think.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it helps me so much. So, I mean, I love participating or hosting if you need it or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I always love it when you host too, man. It's great. So, Yeah, man. So just everybody think about it, but yeah, it's good to know you, Adam, are down, and then it would be cool to get Dave to do a couple if he would, because he's just already used to being in the mix for teaching.
I'll step out of my comfort zone and maybe do one or two, but
that would be great, man. Yeah, dude. You know,
that.
Daryl, you can use this for any of your, like, if you need to do any practice stuff for talking about what you do with recovery and all of that stuff, man, or not recovery, with being sober and all of that stuff.
Recovery.
Yeah. I think it's it's a really cool platform for that, to because we're streaming live and we all have different stories and all different, we're really, not to sound like a Californian, but we're all dope in our own way, and so I think that's really cool. Sam could do a whole 2-hour session on how correlations between playing sax and playing drums and like cool stuff, man. Yeah, I think like you have like a different understanding than drummers do for ghost notes or dotted notes or like guys. I know I don't play any other instruments, so for a long time, like what was the situation? There was like, I would think like tied notes and like a note with a rest were like kind of the same thing,
right?
As I'm thinking in percussion, and then one of my friends explained it like, no, it's not the same thing, because what if you're playing a cymbal? I'm like, yeah, but I'm not playing an orchestra, like a drum set. Right. And he's like, no, you don't understand. Like, it took me a while to like comprehend. Like even now it's like, okay, wait, why? Because you play it the same way on your, like if you're playing a snare drum, you'd kind of play it the same way, but it's like the amount of, anyways, as a sax player, you have a different, that's what I mean. It's kind of like, but are you, but like,
I mean, the thing is, the more instruments that I play, the more I realize that it's literally all just different chapters in the same book. You know what I mean? It's all just different.
Yep, it's frozen.
Different angles at how we all look at the same thing. Am I frozen?
Yeah, there you go. Now you're good.
Yeah, it's just it's all different angles. It's all different, ways to cook the same meal.
Yeah. Daryl, do you teach too?
Just because of this COVID, I've been focusing more because, in one day. Well, in the last year, I quit my day job at the youth rehab to join this band. We were on tour, and in one day, tour got shut down. Any students I had called me. It's like in person, and I also do personal training and stuff. Everything I do is to get people together. So like, I do some online, and I'm just really trying to refocus. I mean, it's a good income to have, right? So
yeah, it's cool.
But yeah,
man, your personal training and all that stuff can really, that probably helps you a lot on drum teaching.
Well, everything you guys talking about, since Adam's been talking about the breathing and stuff, it's like, man, you're talking the same language I've been talking.
Yeah,
man, like breathing is everything for me.
That's cool.
Except Adam's like, he uses bigger words than me. He's got a bigger brain than me.
Psychobabble, I've heard it called.
I'm gonna call it Jeffrey too. I would love Jeffrey to.
Yeah, totally.
You teach too, I know. And you always got great ideas, man.
My method is do as I say, not as I do. I'll give you the exercises, but you don't want to see me execute them. You'll be like, this clown. No.
Hey, that works too, man.
Yeah, I was thinking for Sam though, he could do a lesson on from long tones to drum rolls. That's a good like a good title.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's a nice Drumeo title.
The coach that I always talk about that teaches motocross, and it's like I use him as like some of his methods for like mentally getting his athletes to focus and mentally getting them to like turn their brain off and do what they know how to do and all that stuff. But he's one of those teachers where he was a pro motocross racer in his day. He's like in his late 50s or early 60s now, and maybe late 50s. But he doesn't get on the bike and show them how to do it. but he can like explain it. And then he's like, he told me, you know, I'm training these pro guys, and as far as they know, I can get on the bike and show them how it's done. And he's like, and they believe that, like, they don't want to see me ride. He's like, I know they can like bury me, you know, and as far as skill levels, like, but then again, like, I've seen him ride a motorcycle, and I'm like, dude, this dude is no joke.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like,
comprehension sometimes doesn't need execution.
Right.
For you to teach them, it's the teaching part. If you're effective with that, even if you don't do what do it on the kid, if they can learn it from you, that's always awesome.
That's something that I can do a little bit better instead of actually having to play it for my students. Like, just maybe help them look at it, help them like sing it, you know, use different ways. But I like to be able to play it too. You know?
Yeah, they're definitely two different skill sets. I mean, the ability to teach and the ability to play are not at all linked.
Yeah.
I mean, when you talk about anything, I mean, the ability to communicate to other people, especially something like drums, where there's so much, muscle memory and kind of instinct involved.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't communicate that to somebody, it doesn't matter how good you are, you can't teach them.
Yeah, Keith Carlock's instructional video. It's like fast forward, teaching, fast forward, playing, stop. Okay. I can't stand listening to him talk about teaching drums. It's just so innate for him. He doesn't know how to talk about it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
When I was teaching my students, younger kids, I would let them be more hands-on. I was very hands-off on the drums because as a kid, sometimes it's like they would be like, they get upset that you had to demonstrate it for them. Like, let me do it. I want to try. So the more you let them do it, and you just try to, even if they do mistakes, don't try to I try not to show it to them, because if they work out their mistakes and get it on, the light bulb hits them, and the next lesson, they want to be the first person to do the stuff also. And it just ramps up instead of them waiting for you to do it. And then they learn it, which is it's a good learning method if you teach them and then they do it. But if they figure it out on their own, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, some people use teaching to kind of like be about themselves.
Yeah.
I get what I can do. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. They're missing the service mindset of teaching, you know. And I have a hard time. I feel like most teachers these days have a problem with that, where it's ego driven instead of really trying to help the student to learn. And
you can tell when a teacher doesn't want to teach. You know what I mean? When a teacher is teaching because they need the money, or because, this is what I have to do. I have to teach. Like, I don't want to talk to this kid. You know what I mean? Like, no one, like, you can always tell when a teacher is not interested in teaching you, and it comes across. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks being in a lesson with someone that doesn't want you to be there. You know what I mean? Like,
when you're in a lesson and somebody's just trying to prove to you that they're like a better drummer than you are, it's so annoying. I'm just like, I'm paying you. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's why that Bloom's taxonomy is so awesome, because the whole thing is geared towards the student learning outcome. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter what the teacher thinks of themselves or anything. The student learning outcome, here are the steps to get there.
Right.
Yeah.
That wouldn't fly in the gym. Imagine you having a personal trainer and you're doing stuff, and then that person, they achieve their own personal rep on your training session, and they're like, oh, I just met my goal, and you're like, yeah, but I'm paying you for this. Like, why are you working on my dime? I wouldn't fly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, you guys are funny. And the only reason I say that, I grew up with teachers. Both my parents taught. My wife's a teacher, and you guys are just repeating everything that I grew up with, and it's just funny, man. Because it's you guys are talking about all the stuff that teachers go through to try and reach a kid, because what works for one kid may not work for the next kid. And you have teacher, you have to figure that out. How do I reach this kid? Is he hands-on? Is he not? Do I have to show him? Do I not show him? Do I let him do it? Do I explain it? Everything you guys just said, this is what teachers have to go through in a matter of seconds trying to reach a kid. Because if they don't reach them in those few seconds, they've lost it. And it's just,
and when they do it in a group setting, it's even harder.
Oh yeah, it's hard in a group session.
My God.
Oh man, Nat, you should host about that. You should talk about your upbringing with teachers and how that's influenced your drumming. That'd be awesome.
It's been crazy because both my parents majored in music. So my father's a band director, my mom's a choir director. So I got it from all sides. And it's funny being on gigs when a guy is out of tune on his horn. And my tolerance and patience for that has kind of gone out the window now. So I was on a gig, saxophonist, kept going out of tune in his upper register. It got to the point I couldn't stand it anymore. And I told him, I'm like, can you push in on your horn? And Sam, you can relate to this, playing saxophone. Can you push in? Because you're going flat when you go in your upper register. He looked at me like, wait a minute, you're a drummer. What do you know about this? Just trust me. Okay, so he pushed in. It pulled him in tune a little bit, but he was still just a hair flat. I'm like, okay, can you bite down when you go up to those upper notes? And he looked at me, gave me a fucked up look. What do you know about all this? So when he did it, he bit down, he got in tune. I'm like, cool. So on the break, he's coming at me with 100 questions. How you know this, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, look, my father was a band director. I paid attention. As far as horns and all that, woodwinds and everything, I know more about it than the average drummer. And so it's like, yeah, when you're out of tune, push in. If you're flat, push in. If that doesn't work, bite down with your embouchure. And it's just, I get the most fucked up looks from people.
Yeah. What you said though, I was thinking in my head also, the part where you said you paid attention. That's the most effective part in everything. Like that's the thing. He wasn't the player wasn't really paying attention to his embouchure and stuff like that, and just blowing.
And that's the thing. It's like my thing is, it's your horn, it's your instrument. You should know where you're out of tune, in tune when you're playing that horn. As Benny Greb would say, some people are just instrument owners. They don't know their horn. It's like with the drums. You should know your drums. There are guys out there that do not even know what size drum heads they use on their kit. They just got the kit and they're playing. Guys that don't know how to tune. I mean, like guys, you're gonna take this as a profession, and Corey, you know this because we've talked about it. Know your instrument. Yeah. Know which drum you're gonna have a problem tuning. Know your gear. So when you're out there, when stuff happens, you know how to fix it right then, especially if you're in the studio. It's somebody else's time.
Yeah, it's some people wear that as a badge of honor, or be like, I don't know what this is called. I just sit down and play. Like that's a cool hip thing. You're like, oh yeah, put it on the ride, and they'll be like, or you'd be like, put it on the bell of the ride, and you'll get a nice little, Latin thing, and they'll be like, what? They hit the edge or something like that. But a lot of cats they really love saying like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've seen a lot of bass players do that, or guitar players be like, I don't touch knobs. I just play.
That's not good. That's showing you don't know your instrument. That's showing how unprofessional you are if you're trying to be professional.
For me, knowing your instrument is about how you relate to everyone else in the ensemble. Knowing it as a reflection of your role in the ensemble. If you're a saxophone player and you're playing out of tune, that means that you're not listening to any other instrument in the band, because if you were, how could you not hear it? How could you not, make that adjustment? As long as you are putting the other members of the group before yourself, you're able to then kind of make it all into one cohesive unit, as opposed to saying, well, I'm playing on top of these guys or they're playing behind me. It's it becomes a musical conversation as opposed to,
But that's when the ego kicks in.
Here's me. And
see, that's where that ego kicks in, Sam. When you're thinking like that, where they're playing behind me or they're helping me. Sam, where'd you go?
I'm here.
Okay. You're popping in.
Now, to kind of add to that too, when you guys are talking, I was also thinking I used to play with a church band, and there'd be songs I have to learn that I didn't necessarily have the voice on the drum kit. So But knowing the sounds too, where it's like, well, I can replicate maybe that sound a little bit by doing certain swells here and there to help add in. You don't have a keyboard player, and there's some sound. It's gonna help there.
Yeah, but okay. How do you say? If I put this, if there's a voice missing that you're looking for or that you're used to being there, you still have to do your job, whether it's there or not. You still have to play your part as if everything is there. I mean, just because that keyboard player is not there or something's missing, don't use it as an excuse. Try not to have any excuses. Do your part, play your role, whether all the pieces are there or not.
Oh yeah, no, I mean like if you know what you can do on the drums, like I'm saying do the extra. Like if you know how, I can't think of something off it. Like well, a good example would be if there's normally a percussionist in the song that you're trying to use, and there's not one in the band, because like when the church I played at, it's just like you don't even know who you're playing with from week to week. So sometimes you may not even, you're struggling to find a bassist, you know what I mean? But so there was a lot of times where they just expected the drummer to just, hold the groove. Whereas like I knew, wait a second, guys, I could put that little pattern in there too as well, because I know what the drum sound.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. We have to do that a lot on pop gigs where there's claps.
Yeah.
Perfect example. Yeah, perfect example. Like if there's a clap or something, sometimes I'll hit like the China too or something like that.
Yeah. They'll do the something like that. Yeah.
I was thinking of the song, the Pharrell song, Happy.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been to weddings, I've been to places that people play that song, and the drummer is playing just the group boom, which is so simple.
Yeah.
But they forget, and they're so concentrated on it, but they don't listen, and they're like, there's something missing. There's like these small percussion things going around, which actually that's what makes the music like move around and stuff like that. So when I play in weddings and stuff like that, I try to hit a little bit more extra style and percussion, and not just lay the groove and be like, oh man, I'm laying the foundation, because then the song is empty and it's missing something. But like you said, paying attention to the details and putting that in, making an effort, actually elevates the music. And
you also have to keep in the back of your mind that person might not be good enough to add that extra stuff too. So,
oh yeah, that could be true.
But it's getting hot in here. I always love playing that too, and that combo part's so good.
I've been talking about this like wedding band stuff where it's like these singers are not learning any new songs. This is a whole nother topic, but it's like we're still playing like Happy and Uptown Funk and Get Lucky and like these songs.
Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
Well, then there's the whole Motown thing where it's like I feel like those are always going to be in the repertoire, but a lot of the singers where you're like, hey man, can you play something like, let's do something like, more modern, and then they're like, all right, cool, Get Lucky. We're like, dude, that's like 10 years old already, man. Like, let's update our repertoire.
What song would that be? I mean, I hate to even think that maybe it's because modern music doesn't have those kind of pivotal songs.
There's
just hit it on the head, Adam. Modern music isn't top 40 today. Isn't like top 40 that we grew up with.
Yeah, but the thing is, the people at the weddings do know all the new top 40, and they want to hear that. So what the problem I'm seeing is when the band takes a break, and then the DJ starts, or the whoever plays a playlist, then the dance floor is packed, and it's like, okay, we need to reverse that. So we need to play Uptown Funk and Get Lucky on the break. And then we need to play all those songs that you're playing on the DJ set. That's what we need to play so that the dance floor, so we're going to eliminate ourselves, as musicians, at least for like wedding bands and corporate gigs and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a smart idea because you think about it. I understand the singers and the band are thinking, well, these are hits. These were hits. These are they're known hits. The formula. That's what I say. They were hits. They're known hits. Like so, they don't. That's very familiar. But if it's on the radio now, technically it's gonna be a hit already. It's already pretty much a hit. Whatever's on the radio, and like you said, people are listening to it on Spotify. They're looking at these playlists with like hot new stuff. So your chances are you're gonna get some. They're gonna know these songs, or at least they're gonna like it when they hear it for the first time because it's already a proven thing to be on a playlist for Spotify or on the radio.
Okay, but how many of those band leaders of these wedding bands are actually listening to the radio?
That's the thing.
Because
that's part of the job, though. If you're a top 40 musician, you need to be like looking at playlists for top 40 stuff, and we need to be playing that stuff. Singers, unfortunately, singers, you need to start learning how to rap and playing all these tunes that have all that stuff in it because, it's part of it. If we have to play a dinner set and play jazz, and then we have to play a pop set and play pop, and like we have to be versatile. Singers, you got to be versatile too. You can't just be still singing Uptown Funk and being like, yeah, this is modern.
Well, now you're gonna get a singer that's gonna go like, okay, cool, I'm gonna start rapping to the hip hop, the hip.
Dude, how many singers do that though?
They gotta start from the beginning and work their way up there. It's gonna take a while to get to a
man. It's still that's the mentality of a lot of singers, at least in San Diego, man. That's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do. They'll rap the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme. I'm like, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, I was on a top 40 top gig. Now there are no kids in the crowd. Oh, there's a baby, and we're doing a medley of top 40 stuff, and this guy goes into Baby Shark.
Oh my God.
I looked at him, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm playing this groove, and he's going Baby Shark. Baby
oh my
Shark.
God, dude.
What the fuck are you doing? Really?
Maybe he was a Ted Lasso fan. Anyone watch Ted Lasso?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh.
That's a great show.
I love it, Jamie Tart. Oh, it's so good.
Oh man. Wow. I think it's it's a whole nother if things opening up, I feel like, man, we've had a year and a half off.
Don't get happy about that because
no,
it's about to shut back down.
Oh man. Well,
because Australia has already shut back down. The UK has shut back down because of the Delta variant.
Yeah, they said it's here too already.
Yeah, it's here. It's in California. So even if you're vaccinated, they actually suggest that you keep wearing the mask right now. Even though if you do catch the Delta variant and you're vaccinated, you'll get a little sick, but you won't die from it.
Yeah.
Those who aren't vaccinated have the possibility of dying from it because it's way more infectious. But yeah, I just saw on the news for Australia shutting back down for a couple of weeks.
I don't see anybody abiding by that here. Like if they shut down, people are just going to be like, nah, we're done with that.
It was such a weird feeling at this Harvell's gig. We did the New Orleans thing where you go outside and you come processing in with percussion and horns and all that. And I'm walking by this packed room of people, and I remember feeling like, kind of it's awkward.
I totally feel like that. But what I was saying is just having a year and a half off, and then people are just like going to these gigs, and it's like the same songs, the same thing, the same everything. I'm like, what have you been doing? Like
nothing.
Nothing. We're still playing Get Lucky, and I mean all those songs. It's like, man, we've been playing those for like 5-10 years now. Dun dun dun. Everybody get up. Dun, dun.
There's a really crazy YouTube video. I'm just going to have to put it into the group because it's 20 minutes long and I won't do it justice. But he explains why, and exactly like you said, Gordon, we sound old, but he explains why music coming out. He just straight up says it's why it sucks. But, I guess that's all. It's almost like create bands, right? Nowadays, he says just it costs the labels millions of dollars when they figured out that instead they can kind of brainwash people into thinking that this music is good. So it's 20 minutes. So like, I'm not going to sum it up in what I'm explaining, but yeah, I'm down to like only a couple people are writing all the songs. Like,
yeah,
sum it up for you.
Why everything sounds the same.
Yeah,
I can sum it up for you. What happens is when they put a song in heavy rotation, you may not like it at first.
Exactly.
But if they play it enough, you eventually find yourself bopping to it because you've heard it so many times.
And
you recognize it.
You're like, wait a second, I've heard this. Oh, now I like it because everybody else is liking it.
Okay, so
100%.
the other thing, have you guys? I forget what they're called, but have you guys ever met the people that write these songs?
It's two guys. This guy breaks it down to two guys, and we've heard them before. And I can't think of their names. He shows the picture. It's like the guy that does all. Yeah, he writes.
Is it the dude who did all the Britney Spears stuff back in the early 2000s? That same dude? Because there was one guy who like wrote all the Britney Spears and NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, like all like the pop shit that came out in the early 2000s. That was one dude, as far as I understand.
And before that, it was Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis doing all the stuff, all the Janet Jackson stuff, all that stuff, and everybody flocked in. It's like it got to the point where none of the artists had their own identity, because everybody, like when Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis was hot, everybody would go to them. Just like the guy that wrote for NSYNC, Britney Spears, he got hot, so everybody went to him. Everybody started sounding the same. There was no more individuality.
And they find the pretty face, and they basically say, "You're going to do this, dance like that."
Exactly.
No.
It also became such a huge money-making industry that it became down to the numbers. They were like, okay, well, what will make us the most amount of money? What will, they sized it up. They said, okay, this kind of groove, this kind of vibe, this is what we want. This is what has to go out, because if we put anything else out, it'll make less money, and that's unacceptable. And so that's where it all developed from there, with those huge studios and those huge labels.
Well, what also happened was the record company stopped developing artists. You see, back in the day, they would develop artists. Artists would have a 3 to 5 record deal. So they would develop an artist over a long period of time. They would get the long money. All of a sudden, that went away. They went to the one-hit wonders because they were trying to get quick money. So they weren't developing any artists anymore. Then the technology came into play. So now it's like the record companies want you to have your product already done, and they'll just put it out.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
They want you to come with a fully completed album that they don't have to do anything to except put it out. So it's just kind of crazy. And now with YouTube and all the social media stuff, you've got to sift through all the BS just to find the really good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And the people who are out there trying to just get their music anywhere will take what they can get from anyone that offers it to them. So if someone says, hey man, like, you just finished your album, why don't you give us $500 and we'll send it out to this. And some people are like, well, yeah, I need to get my stuff out there somewhere. And that it's such a predatory thing where people go out looking for people who are interested in what they do and passionate about it, and finding ways to be like, okay, well, I can make a little money from that, and I can make a little money from that. And it's there's a lot of distribution and just general accessibility issues that make it hard for anyone to really have a career path in the traditional sense. When you talk about what it meant to be a musician in the 90s or the 80s, and there's the whole scene has changed as far as the viability of being a musician as a single, this is what I do.
As musicians, you don't control the music anymore.
It's true.
You got businessmen controlling the music, telling everybody what people like instead of just putting it out there and letting people choose.
That's the problem. The people that there's a lot of these other people that are just like, it's their job. They're kind of like influencers, but they'll come up with hooks or like lines that maybe they're not coming up with melodies, but they're coming up with like simple little like hooks, and then they will sell their stuff to these other, I forget what they're called. They have a name for them. And one of them was at a wedding that we were playing. And then she was like, oh, I want to go hang with the band. These are my people. And it was like, so she considered herself like in the music industry because she writes all these stupid.
She's a top liner. And
she was talentless, a complete, like, you know, just a complete idiot. Somebody we would never want to talk to at
they call those top liners.
Top liners. That's exactly what she was. Exactly.
The guy that you guys are talking about, Max Martin, he was the one that was dominating.
Yep, that's the name. That's
him, Dr. Luke. They were dominating. So these one guys doing this stuff, but they were so good at making these hits that what's happening now is they have these songwriting, what they call them, songwriting farms or songwriting conferences, kind of thing. Like these rooms,
showcases, songwriters.
Well, not even a showcase. What they do is you set up like a week or two. You take like a week or two, and you get a bunch of songwriters to come to like a studio or a camp somewhere, songwriting camps, and you put them in different rooms, and you get different groups of songwriters and musicians, and they start coming up with songs and ideas and stuff like that. And like the artist will go around and be like, I like this, I like that, or the producer, I like this, I like that. Let's take this idea, move it here. And you start mixing in the songwriters to other rooms, and it's like an exercise, and they start coming up with these hits. But even though you're mixing them around in their head, they're still thinking, I want to make a hit, so they're gonna play it safe no matter what.
Yeah.
So but it's from going from Max Martin, that one guy, or Jimmy Jam and these guys, two people, or Babyface, one person, to a bunch of people writing one song. So that's why you see all these song things that has one song. Justin Bieber's Baby Baby has, I think, is around 5 or 6 songwriters accredited to that song.
Wow.
I wonder who made the it's a really catchy song, but who made the hook, Baby Baby Baby? Who takes credit for just that line? You know, it's crazy.
Nah, it's crazy. Top liners need to get out of our industry. I hate those people, dude.
Technology has made it to where they can.
Yeah. You're not musicians though. Beat it. All right, guys, we got to roll. I got a long day ahead of me, and yeah. Great hanging with everyone this morning. Thanks for showing up, everyone, especially everyone in the room, and then all you guys streaming live with us. Yeah, come join us, hang out, join in the conversation. That's pretty much it. You know, if you guys are interested in some Chops and Coffee merch, just check out the link on drumbrigade.com. And if you go on drumbrigade.com, it's all the way at the bottom, I think. So you have to sift through a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, the stuff looks good, man.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, man. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Thanks for coming.
Cool.
You guys have a good one.
Later.